Welcome to Honeybee. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Real stories of love, lies, and betrayal, where every truth stings. Let's begin. My name's Walter, and one thing life has taught me is that sometimes your instincts speak louder than reason. They don't come with evidence or logic, but if you're wise, you learn to pay attention. Because most times, that feeling uncovers truths you never expected. The night my fiancée came home from her girls' outing, I was waiting. She sensed the tension and leaned in to kiss me, but I didn't move. Instead, I pulled out my phone and pressed play on a video. I watched her freeze, color draining from her face. That reaction told me more than words ever could. She didn't even try to deny it. And she had no clue what I had already put in motion. If you had asked me a few months earlier, I would have sworn I was the happiest man alive. I run a small but steadily growing social media agency. It pays well, gives me flexibility, and lets me control my own time. Most of my work happens remotely, apart from the occasional in-person meeting with brands or clients. Truthfully, I spend more time on Zoom calls than I'd like, but it works for me. Charlotte and I had been together for 3 solid years. People often said we looked perfect together. How we moved, how we spoke, how we supported one another. She was sharp, quick-witted, and I fell for her hard. When I proposed, I truly believed she was the one. I spent weeks planning everything. The details mattered. I booked a beachside resort because she once told me sunsets by the water gave her peace. I had a custom ring designed, invited close friends and family under the guise of a weekend trip. When I dropped to one knee as the sun dipped below the horizon, she broke into tears and said yes, hugging me tightly. In that moment, it felt like the beginning of our forever. Of course, we weren't perfect. No couple is. We had disagreements, but never anything deal-breaking. We knew how to communicate, to work through issues like adults. It felt like the most stable, mature relationship I'd ever had. After getting engaged, we moved in together. We'd already been splitting time between each other's places, but now it was permanent. Everything looked solid from the outside, and for a while, I believe it was solid on the inside, too. I thought sharing a home would bring us closer, help us prepare for marriage, learn each other's quirks. But soon, I started noticing little things that didn't sit right. It began with her group chats and FaceTime calls. Most times she stepped into another room, but occasionally I overheard pieces of their conversations. Her friends weren't just catching up, they bragged about sneaking around, lying to partners, partying recklessly. One even joked about flirting with a married man at a rooftop bar as though it was an achievement. It wasn't harmless fun. It was careless, deceitful, disgusting. I'm not uptight. I get needing to blow off steam. But these weren't one-time stories. They were habits. And worse, they sounded proud of it. For a while, I stayed quiet, not wanting to seem like I was policing her. But eventually, I told her honestly that I didn't feel comfortable with the things they said or did. I explained it wasn't about not trusting her. It was that I didn't trust them. Her response stunned me. She accused me of overstepping. Said just because we were engaged didn't mean I could dictate who she talked to. She claimed I was judging people I didn't even know, and told me to stay out of her private conversations. She didn't even pause to ask why I felt that way. I let it drop on the surface. But inside, something shifted. I began to wonder how much of who she was came from people around her. And as the wedding date got closer, that question lingered. Was I seeing a real Charlotte, or the version she wanted me to see? Everything appeared fine on the outside. Venue booked, deposits paid, families planning. But under the surface, things felt off. Charlotte started coming home late more often. There was always a reason. Staying late at work, traffic, stopping by a friend's place to vent about wedding stress. I believed her at first. I wanted to. We were building a life. I didn't want to tear holes in it. But one night, she came home past 10. I was on the couch, lights dim, dinner cold. She looked surprised I was awake, like she hadn't expected me to notice. When she leaned in to kiss me, I caught the smell of alcohol. I pulled back slightly. "Did you drink?" I asked. She smiled casually, saying it was just a couple of drinks for a coworker's birthday. I nodded, but something in my stomach churned. I wanted to believe her, but the uneasy feeling kept getting louder. One Saturday evening, I found her at the dresser putting on makeup. She looked breathtaking in a black dress, her hair loose and curled. Leaning on the doorframe, I asked lightly, "Heading out?" "Girls' night," she said, still brushing mascara. "Who are you going with?" I asked. She snapped her head toward me, eyes flashing. "Why does it matter? Do I need permission now?" Her tone hit me like a slap. I wasn't trying to control her. I just wanted to know. I tried to explain, saying I had a strange feeling about the night. She rolled her eyes, spraying perfume. "Walter, for God's sake, it's just a night out. I'm not doing anything wrong. I just want to relax before the wedding. Is that a crime?" I knew that defensive wall she built when she didn't want questions, so I stepped back. Every fiber of me screamed something was wrong, but I let her walk out. She didn't kiss me goodbye, didn't really look at me, just waved and said she'd be back before I blinked. Hours later, unable to sleep, I checked the location-sharing app we'd set up long ago. Heard up blinked at a lounge 40 minutes away, a place I didn't recognize. My gut told me I wouldn't rest unless I saw for myself. I drove out, found the lounge buzzing with neon lights, music thumping through my chest. Inside, I spotted her at a table with friends, all of them drinking, laughing, taking selfies. She looked stunning, glowing under dim lights. Then the DJ switched songs, and the group rushed to the dance floor. That's when I saw him, a tall guy moving toward her. I expected her to step back, but she didn't. She smiled, turned, and let him grind against her. Her friends cheered, encouraging her like it was a performance. She played along, moving her hips, letting him hold her waist. Her engagement ring wasn't on her finger. My heart sank. I pulled out my phone and started recording. The longer I filmed, the worse it got. After a few songs, the man whispered something in her ear. She laughed and nodded, then followed him and her friends into the VIP section. I couldn't watch anymore. I left quietly and drove home, collapsing on the couch. Just before midnight, she walked in. She froze when she saw me sitting in the dark. The faint scent of alcohol lingered as she leaned in to kiss me. I didn't respond. "I have something to show you," I said. I tapped my phone and played the video. She stared silently, lips parted, face pale. When it ended, I turned off the screen. "Go to sleep?" I said softly. "In the morning, pack your things." At first, she looked confused. Then she broke down crying. "Walter, please. It wasn't what it looked like. We were just dancing. Nothing happened." I walked past her, cold. "I'm not interested, Charlotte. We're done." The next morning, she begged again, following me into the kitchen, voice hoarse from crying. She tried to touch me, pleading that we could fix it. It was just one stupid night. I wasn't thinking. But she had been thinking, just not about me. That evening, she packed. Her friends came to help. I watched through the window as they loaded her bags. She moved slowly, almost like she hoped I'd stop her. I didn't. I held the door, silent, then locked it behind them. As the house grew quiet, one question haunted me. Had she been like this all along? Was this the first slip, or had I been blind for years? I knew I'd never really know, and I refused to torture myself trying to rewrite the past. So I did something simple. I turned off my phone and shoved it in a drawer. I didn't want calls, messages, or excuses from her or her friends, or even family trying to convince me to forgive. That kiss she gave me when she got home wasn't love. It was a cover. The hardest part wasn't betrayal itself, but realizing the future I'd been building was based on a lie. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. Looking back, I realized my instincts had been warning me for a while. I ignored them because I wanted to trust her. I didn't want to be the suspicious partner. But in the end, it was those quiet gut feelings that revealed the truth. And though the truth shattered everything I thought I had, it also gave me freedom.